Here it goes. Pressing everything. Shit,
Okay.
I'm still on auto start. Doesn't matter. We're starting. Oh no, my first word on that is going to be a profanity. Susan's going to...
Susan, no!
I don't even know who the new person's name is.
Susan's dead.
No.
God, she died. That's so sad.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Susan.
Rest in peace, Queen. I always did like you.
Yeah. And she
They could
didn't
never
pay us
make
to
me
say
hate
that.
you.
No algorithm
Susan
change.
is like YouTube Kathleen Kennedy.
Mm-hmm. In too many thumbnails.
Mm-hmm.
So just before we start, I'm curious. How many... Give me a ballpark on how many videos, if I look through your entire channel, how many times is Kathleen Kennedy in one of your thumbnails?
I'd say so. I've done like 2,000 videos. I'd say maybe she's made 5.
I feel like she might be in one of mine with all the show announcements. I think that's the only
Yeah,
time.
that's like I've done maybe 2 about her, and then maybe 3 where like she announced something.
All right. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to TapCaf Transmissions, the only Star Wars podcast currently live on YouTube. So that's all we are now. I'm Corey, joined as always by my co-host with no adjectives, no superlatives today. The most co-host person ever.
The no host, the co-host with the no host.
Okay. Well, I know. Justin Eckhartsladder, how are you doing today?
Good. You were just asking me how many times do you think I've included Kathleen Kennedy in thumbnails before we went live, and it was a really good question, which I've been thinking about.
We were live for that.
Well, okay. Well, it might not make the audio recording of the podcast, though.
Absolutely will. It was a crucial conversation.
Okay. So while you were doing your boring introduction, I took some time and I looked up every time I mentioned Kathleen or the word Kennedy in my video descriptions, and we've got 13. And
how many of them are JFK though?
Yeah, could JFK beat the grassy knoll? No. So I've got 2 recent ones featuring her. I've got one, if I ran Lucasfilm, and a picture of Kathleen Kennedy, an arrow pointing to the Doge. And then that's it. Oh no, there's yeah, no, that's it actually. That's it. I thought that was Kathleen Kennedy, but that's Marsha Lucas.
Wow, it's a different kind of misogyny. You just don't know which woman's which.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, they're very, very small image. Very small image.
Okay, fair enough. Well, today's topic is not going to be random stuff about how many times we've done whatever in videos. We're actually talking about Star Wars Legacy tonight. Talking about loyalties and Indomitable, 2 different arcs of the Legacy era comics. Although, like, there's really 3 different stories we're doing here. I think, like, it's grouped just by how they were released in the like omnibus things, I think. But yeah. We have a story about Garstazi. We have a story about Cade and his uncle Nat Bantharok Skywalker, and then we have kind of a one-off story about Darth Warlock taking his fun trip to Prakith to try to find a way to help heal Darth Krayt. So, big things in store. Which of these 3 were your favorite?
I mean, definitely the first one. It was nice to not have Cade.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing.
It was significantly better without Cade. I mean, I want to be clear. I didn't think the like the Garstazi one. So he's this big admiral for the GA, and like his big plan, his big strategy is like basically comes down to know you at the end, where it's like. So the whole plan is that they're trying to strike at the Empire, or the Sith rather, and the Mon Calamari. A few of them are helping. They don't quite realize the degree to that they're helping, but they end up stealing the Imperius, which is the new Star Destroyer that's being made, the new class of Star Destroyer. And basically, it comes down to the Sith lay a trap for Garstazi, very much like a trap at the Battle of Kal Mas that the GA fell into, which pretty much ended the war. But then at the end, he literally just says, "No, you." Like he's like, "Oh, you had stormtroopers inside the Star Destroyer to kill my men. Well, we killed them first." Like,
Yeah.
okay.
It was a lot of like, oh,
Cool.
you think they know we're going to shut down the defensives or the defensive
But we know they
turbo lane.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that scene in
Yu-Gi-Oh?
Princess Bride.
Okay.
No, not you've activated my trap card that happens every time. The Vizini scene where they're doing the, I think it's the poison iocane powder, and like, oh, well, you would know that I would know, and then it's basically that, but only 2 layers of it, because Garstazi ends up winning. We get some like background rivalry between him and the Imperial commander that's now in charge of it, of Krait's third fleet, who, like, we open up the issue 20 with Admiral Shadoon being killed by Darth, what's his face? Darth Quarren, man. I can't remember. Darth S something. But yeah. And then we get to see an Imperial being racist, because the Admiral that was in charge of this before, who's now failed one too many times, Shadoon, is a Plo Koon, also known as a Keldor.
Was a Plo Koon.
He was a Plo Koon, and now he's dead. Yeah. So he gets replaced by Admiral Valen, who his first act is to say, "See to it that all alien personnel in my fleet are replaced with human personnel. I want a superior crew."
Yeah.
So, I guess the Fel Empire isn't all that accepting after all.
Well, it's more like the Sith Empire at that point.
Yeah, but the Fel Empire kept all these people in power, and then it's like, as soon as Fel is gone, they're just having this powder keg of building power intention towards
it doesn't make sense
racism.
Because, like, most of the Sith are not humans.
Well, they also hate the Sith. Like, they're going to try to get rid of the Sith as well. We know that from Morlish Veed and Nina Calixta.
This is like, it's weird because there's the Empire, and then there's like the Sith Empire, which is like the Sith and the Empire. So it's like there were Sith soldiers on that ship probably, and Imperial soldiers on the ship. So,
well, the Sith are mostly just the actual Sith themselves, like Krait's little family. So I don't know that there's more than like a couple hundred of them in the galaxy. They don't really.
I feel like I always kind of got the feeling that they've got soldiers too, because initially aren't the GA and the Empire fighting the Sith together? So I think that kind of implies
are they doing
the
that
Sith
initially?
Yeah, because they end up double crossing them, right? So I always felt like the Sith had their own ships, but maybe I'm wrong.
Feels like something I should know, but I don't. There's the Second Imperial Civil War. The prior was the Sith Imperial War, and previous was eventually the skirmish on Wayland, which was Cole and the Shaper. So yeah, I don't think the
Okay.
Because there's the Ossus Project, then it gets ruined. The Empire declares war. Yeah, I don't think they were fighting the Sith together before then.
Okay.
Because there's just all the people in the Empire that want to still be the Empire, and Fel's like, no, we're gonna win without war, and then they decide to win with war instead and without Fel, which is really the problem if your solution to a state being like led by all of these weird fascists to say like, no, I'm going to be the one person standing between them and that, and then you die. Don't.
Yeah.
Don't like them.
It's getting messy. It's like we could invent new factions, or we could just
What
Sith.
What did the Sith are back?
And also, Empire has Jedi now.
But like you were saying,
What if Empire did have Jedi now?
Yeah. And they're started by Jaina Solo, so they must be good. But maybe this is bad to admit, I was kind of glad when that first Mon Calamari guy died. I found him kind of annoying. But then a whole
Well,
genocide started, but
he kind of got screwed over.
well, yeah, he was trying
Like,
to
I don't
take
know
the brunt of it.
what he was planning, but he didn't want them to steal the Imperius.
No,
Like,
he did.
I feel like he didn't.
He didn't want other people to be in, like, he wanted to be able to take the blame on the Mon Calamari side for anything that went wrong. Because he thought if he was still there, it'd be like, oh, well,
But
now
the
the Sith
nephew is
can't do
like,
anything.
the nephew says specifically, he's like, steal the Imperius, and he's like, no. He says it just like that.
Well, I thought the context of that was like the Mon Calamari being involved rather than
Yeah, maybe.
Manai as part of Rogue Squadron.
Yeah, it could be.
I do like how fucking the capital of Mon Calamari got renamed to Agbaria, and this guy's name is Gil Gahar. Like, come on. There's got to be something else you can name him after. And then they just renamed it to New Coral City that soon afterward. Like, Akbar got a city named after him for less than 100 years. It was a stupid name like Akbaria, and then it was just gone.
Yeah.
Don't like that.
Yeah.
Disrespectful.
And Guile is still a popular first name, I guess. So,
Yeah, and now he's dead.
yep. Rest in peace, King. Along with 10% of the Mon Calamari on deck.
Literally decimated.
Yeah. One of the very few times.
Yeah.
Usually it's like a lot more or a little less.
It's a brave move for Star Wars. Although they didn't use the term decimate, so we can't really give them that much credit.
Yeah. Honestly, a missed opportunity.
But yeah, so Gar Stasi, we like you're saying, we have this plan where they're going to go in and take the Imperius. They're going to put themselves between the Sith fleet and the planetary defenses, but the planetary defenses are actually going to be on their side, even though the Imperials think like, oh, when they change the defenses, we're going to change them back.
Well, they think they're just disabling the defenses. Yeah.
That's the first layer of the plan.
Mm-hmm.
But then, yeah, there's like 3 Uno Reverso cards played, which I don't even know how many times you can legally play that. I haven't played Uno in years.
So the basic rule of Uno is you can do it once, but most house rules allow you to do it back and forth.
Okay. I think most house rules allow that, not out of any conscious choice, just because no one actually reads the rules.
It's the same with like the plus 2, like, draw 2 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's only supposed to be once, but most of the times you play it so you keep her going.
Yeah, or like any rule in Monopoly where no one ever plays that properly because the game fucking sucks either way.
I've never played adult Monopoly. We used to play junior Monopoly as a kid all the time, but I don't know. I don't think I have the patience for it.
Adult Monopoly just sounds kind of sexy.
Yeah, adult Monopoly. I guess it's not adult Monopoly. It's just Monopoly and junior Monopoly.
Yeah. There probably is adult Monopoly out there. I don't want to know what it actually involves. But yeah, so we get the flashback. You got
a townhouse on your labia.
No.
We got to talk about the fact that I crushed the female anatomy section of Jeopardy last week.
Oh, we'll talk about Star Wars Jeopardy at the end of the episode, maybe.
Okay.
Because this happened. But yeah, so we do get a flashback because Gar Stasi has been tricked exactly once before, and he's been part of 2 battles: the Battle of Kamas, which ended the war with the Sith, and now this Mon Calamari battle. So he has to draw those parallels. But as soon as you get into the meeting, they have like the flashback, like there's this meeting going on Kamas where Emperor Fel is going to be talking to the Chiss and the Hapins about a potential alliance, once again proving that the Chiss Ascendancy is not part of the Fel Empire. People. Not. And then, so the Galactic Alliance leadership is talking about like, oh, do we send everything we have here to go and kill Fel while this meeting is going on to end the war? And so you have like Cole Skywalker there, you have Admiral Stasi, it's a whole meeting of the minds, but then they make a nice historical reference where the other admiral who wants to go and attack Kamas is named Patan, and not Patan, and he's the one that surrenders at the battle. And then Garstazi is like, oh, this is where the Galactic Alliance in Exile starts. So a nice little reference to Vichy France there. But I guess the guy never comes up again, so that's sad.
Yeah, that's totally what I was thinking too. Vichy France for sure. I know my history also.
So when the Nazis took over France,
Mm-hmm.
the part of France that surrendered was that like remained quote unquote self-governing, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean really still under Nazi control, was run by a general who had surrendered, and his name was
Right.
Pétain. And
Yeah.
so this guy's name was the same thing. So he kind of knew he's going to surrender ahead of time. And there's
Well,
everyone's
you knew
history.
that. I didn't know that. You knew that.
Okay, well, it was a nice little reference just for anyone who knows at least two things about World War II.
Fair enough.
I know certain people in this call were too enamored by fucking Rommel to look anywhere else, but we've all
I don't
seen
know
the
how to
armband.
respond to that. Rommel, he was the French Jedi, right?
General Rommel.
There's an apostrophe in there.
It's not racist.
All right, let's move on. This is good. I'm gonna get canceled
Again.
Yeah, I already. Yeah, give those High Republic fans a lick of ammo, and I'm done for.
You mean Ilkin?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so yeah, that's that's the core of what happens in the first arc, the Garstazi arc, which I mean
I
that
think
was
it
my
the
favorite, but
capitulation of France arc.
yes, we get some fun Rogue Squadron dynamics. We get a lot of the diversity of Rogue Squadron these days. With there's a Doug
Yeah,
that
we
likes
had
to fight
a
people.
and we also had a not a Nikto. It was a weak way. We had
Yeah,
a good weak way, which I looked up the weak way wiki page after this, and sure enough, it says weak way we're often criminals and thugs. I don't think you should say that
I
about
don't.
an
Yeah, that
entire.
seems like, oh
I
man.
don't think you should say that about an entire race or
It
species. But
when Bay gets introduced, like he is a weak way, but like between with his outfit, he just looks like Kyle Katarn aged really poorly.
yeah, it's just hard to imagine. Like I guess Honda. I always forget Hondo's a weak way.
Yeah, but I
He's
mean, he's a hardened criminal. He's just kind of
but like
incompetent, so
the
people like
Return of
him.
the Jedi weak ways are so creepy because
Okay,
they
well,
look
you
like they've
can't
got like
fucking say that.
weak way were widely used throughout the galaxy as mercenaries or criminals. Like, come on, man.
Are you saying they
Weak.
weren't?
I mean,
I
I
bet if you
guess.
go to the human Wikipedia page, it probably doesn't say that, even though it's also true. This is the kind of
Yeah,
prejudice we're talking about, people.
yeah. Like you can't. You're putting weak way relations way back.
Yeah, humans often wear hats. Like, what are you fucking saying, man? It's unacceptable behavior.
I never wear hats. My head's far too large.
I don't wear hats because they make me look more like a Muppet, especially
Oh,
if
I
I'm
thought you were gonna
wearing.
say 'cause your dog doesn't let you go outside.
Well, no, he doesn't. But like before that, uh, especially if I'm wearing a hat and sunglasses, then it's just pure
Are
Muppet.
you a celebrity or something?
Sometimes it's fucking bright out. I don't know. You ever go hiking somewhere and you
Not often,
you
but
don't want to get the sun in your eyes, the sun on your skin, the sun just in general you want gone, and but you don't want to like wear a huge jacket or something to cover everything. So you need a hat and
Mhm.
sunglasses, and then I look like a Muppet.
Yeah.
It's not helpful.
But I mean, is there anything you could? Do you not look like a Muppet a little bit ordinarily?
Yeah, but I look more like a Muppet.
Yeah, I know.
I sound like a Muppet. I look like a Muppet. It's not. It's all. I don't know.
Mhm.
Beaker.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I was thinking of
yeah.
for sure. Sorry, I'd be one of the fat ones. It's fine. Trubbish, the trash Muppet. Yeah,
Are Pokemon Muppets?
is that what Trubbish is?
Yeah. I guarantee you've got a Trubbish card somewhere, and that's why you said that.
Probably, Christ's sake.
Anyways,
Oh, our Pokemon cards are getting tariffed.
those fucking
I was like,
bastards.
I hope they come from Japan. No.
They're printed in the States.
God
Yeah,
damn it.
so we have the Rogue Squadron Brawl. I liked Anj and Manai or whatever the Mon Calamari's name was. I thought they were fun characters.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're ever
Yeah.
going to see them again, but
I mean, Manai is on Mon Cala leading the resistance, right? So bad things are going to happen to Mon Cala, so I assume we've got at least one more.
That's true. The
Feeling
yeah, like we've got the Imperial Knight that's not named Garvin Dreas, but whose name makes me think of Garvin Dreas.
Yeah.
They're there. Oh, look. Issue 36, 41, 47, Legacy War 245. So there's more of Anj coming. So that's fun.
Yeah.
But so
Okay, Beaker, come on.
I was going more for Kermit there.
Okay. I think you're going for the Swedish chef.
Does the Swedish chef speak English? I don't know.
No,
I was never a big Muppet guy.
Speaks Swedish. Or what Swedish sounded like to whoever was voicing him.
Mm-hmm. Well, Garstazi sacrifices his flagship, the Indomitable, during the battle, because he thinks, well, the Imperials are going for me, so they're going to come after my flagship. Everyone else leave. I'm going to die. But luckily, Bay knocks him out, and his captain, the captain of this flagship, is like, no, I'm going to go down with the ship. You're a symbol.
He's already injured anyway.
Yeah, he was a Celestian, so no one respected him. So he dies. And in punishment for not following Stasi's order to abandon ship and leave Stasi, Bay now becomes his second in command.
Yeah.
It's a real thinning out of the ranks between those two, I guess. It was like Rogue Squadron's colonel, the second in command, who maybe he wasn't the captain of the ship, and then Garstazi, and that's all they got.
Oh, just wait till you start reading. Oh, our next book for next week, Aftermath, which I have started. And we're 3 months after the Battle of Endor, and Wedge is on a mission to find the secret Imperial supply lines that are somehow keeping the Empire going.
Yeah.
But it's just like, yeah, you'll see.
Well, it's like they're a resistance fighting force in the bush, and they're looking for Highway 401. I don't understand why this is unrealistic.
Well, it's like they're like 3 months after the Battle of Endor. It's actually it might be less and or fewer months, and the Empire is it's destroyed. You'll see.
I'll see, and then we'll finally have read the book that we talk about probably more than any other book on the podcast. Mm-hmm. The number of minutes spent talking about Aftermath have to be higher than the number of minutes we actually spend in an episode about a book. Nothing on Aftermath for us. No. Which is crazy considering the amount of Aftermath that I have read being so low.
Is it above 0? Have you started?
I haven't started, no. I was still hoping I could change your mind.
I mean, you still probably could.
No, it's your birthday week. We're going to read Aftermath.
It'll be during your birthday week.
Yes. It will be, and yet I'm reading fucking Aftermath on my birthday. This is what you've done to me.
Oh, dear Corey, would you rather read the Swarm War? We can read the Swarm. If you want to read the Swarm War, we can read the Swarm War.
I feel like if we haven't gotten into Legacy of the Force, like if Mara is still alive by the end of this year, we failed as a Star Wars book podcast.
Oh, she's for sure gonna still be alive by the end of this year. Isn't that like book 8?
5. Right?
Okay.
Sacrifice is number 5. Spoiler alert. People.
There's only I was gonna say there's only 8 books, isn't there?
There's 9.
Yeah, I was thinking that it was longer. Yeah, book 5. That sounds right. I was thinking it's like halfway through.
Betrayal.
I was thinking it was another NJ.
Bloodlines, Tempest, Exile, Sacrifice. Fucking got it.
Yeah, not in a million years could I have done that. Gun to my head. Anyway. Aliens got the death ray pointed at Earth. Couldn't have done it.
Invincible. Because
Think
Inferno.
about it.
Okay, what are the other ones? There's Inferno, Invincible. Invincible's last. There's an R in there somewhere.
Revelations? Is that
I
one?
I always get the Legacy of the Force ones and Fate of the Jedi confused. Revelations is one of them.
I think yeah. It's all right. I'll just read it. So we got Betrayal, Bloodlines, Tempest, Exile, Sacrifice, Inferno, Fury, and Revelation, and then Invincible. So,
Hmm.
and then Fate of the Jedi is Outcast, Omen, Abyss, Backlash, Allies, Vortex, Conviction, Ascension, Apocalypse.
There you go. The next 18 books we're reading on the podcast. No.
I mean, if you want to do the Swarm War first, we can do it.
I think we should do the Swarm War, then some other books, and then Legacy of the Force. Because it's been a couple months since we finished Yuzon Vong War. I think it makes sense to try to do the Joiner King.
Okay.
Let's
Hopefully it's not too long.
It's a bit longer than other books. It is.
You're
But
pissing me off.
we've both read it so much, I'm sure.
I've read it. I don't know if I've read it twice.
I've read it like
once.
5 times. It'll be very fast for me. I think I've only read it like 3 times.
Okay, if we're gonna do that, then let's take 2 weeks to do it, and we'll do something else next week.
I'm okay with that.
Like, let's do just another comic next week.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay, cool.
Anyways, speaking of other comics, anything else you want to talk about with the Garstazi or subplot here?
Not really.
All right,
it's fine.
Maybe let's move on to Darth Warlock's thing. Even though it's technically the last one, I don't think it really matters. So what happens in this is Darth Warlock, he's a very devoted little boy. He wants to make sure that Darth Krayt isn't going to die sad and alone, and he's looking for any. So the problem he's faced with is there's Yuzon Vong biotechnology, which has infected Krayt. The solution to this is
way long ago.
Let's not look into Yuzon Vong biotechnology. Let's look at all the ancient Sith shit and see if they say anything useful. So far, the answer has been, shockingly, no. But he has the holocron of Darth the Dead Dude. And Darth the Dead Dude was able to stay alive even though his body was dead. Not in a very attractive way. He was rotting.
He's nasty.
And so he's like, yeah, how do you have this power? And the solution to this ends up being, you go to Prakith, and then you're going to find other stuff. Because Prakith is where Darth Endedu's tomb was. But it turns out, in a shocking twist, Darth Endedu, his holocron wasn't a voice recording. It wasn't a little AI chat GPT instance running inside, trained on Darth Endedu's writings. It was actually Darth Endedu, and there's a fight that happens, and Darth Endedu dies again. This happens like 7 times in the Legacy comics.
Yeah, it wasn't super epic, I'd say. I don't know what else to say about it.
You don't think it was epic? It was a conflict between Darth Warlock III and Darth Endedu.
Yeah, I mean, I like the design of Darth Endedu, and I like Prakith is a cool planet, but it's short at least, right?
For now.
Yeah. I don't know. What did you think about it?
I just the Sith do this all the time, man. Like, all these Sith, it's got to be frustrating. They spend 4,000 years waiting to come back to life, and then
and they get 30 minutes,
if that. Like, Marco Ragnos got half a fucking.
I was just thinking of Marco Ragnos. Yeah,
he gets half a monologue in Tavion's body, then he's like back into his statue, so he could come back again. And then this happens with Endedu.
He even gets the scepter. He gets to hold the scepter again, right?
Yeah, he's reunited with that. He's back for longer than Endedu. Endedu has to go into like the decrepit remains of his little servant guy, or one of the people that lives in his house.
Yeah, which I realized I did a video on all the other Sith alive during the original trilogy, and they are one. That little group in his catacombs, right? Because, I mean, they're not very powerful. They end up killing each other, but they are Sith.
I guess technically, yeah. They have red lightsabers. That's all it takes.
That It pretty much is. So
I mean, I did a video on like all the Sith who tried to come back to life, and
Mhm.
it was a long video, but it was very repetitive because it's all the same story. It's like 5,000 years before Yavin, this person did this. Like
Like,
Exar Kun,
oh
you have
no,
like
they accidentally
everyone.
left an ancient artifact.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
And
that's not reunited with their body.
yeah, Marmar edited the video, so Marmar is very familiar with it. Uh,
Mhm.
but most of the stories ended up culminating in the Legacy comics doing the exact same thing. So we got like 5 more of these coming up.
Mhm.
But I do have to apologize to everyone because I forgot Darth Glovok in that.
How dare you?
Yeah,
How many were there? Like over a dozen?
easily.
I gotta watch that video. That sounds fun. I think I might have already.
It's most the answer turned out to be most Sith. So
Yeah, at least once.
my favorite one is fuck. Who's the tomb that you go into in KOTOR 2? Is it Frieden? I think it's Frieden Nad. Where I don't think it's explicit in the game that this is what's going on. You just walk into the tomb and there's some Sith there, and you just kill the Sith and move on with your life. I don't think the game mentions what they're doing, but the fucking Prima strategy guide, it has a little blurb about how they're uh, doing some sort of thing to bring Frieden Nad back to life.
And you just go in there just instantly.
Yeah.
16 stimulants, your special gloves, a headset, just clap them.
Mm-hmm. It 1-4 storm and all over.
I started KOTOR 2 and I nearly finished the first planet, but I realized I didn't, or the moon. Is it Pragus?
Or I guess, yeah.
Yes, I did. I realized I didn't properly install the mod, like the full, like what are, the big one,
Restored
like the
content.
restored content mod. Yeah, and I've only ever beaten KOTOR 2 once. So I did the entire first planet again with the mod installed, and then I got to the second planet. Is it Nar Shaddaa, I think is the second planet, or
I
no?
think
It's
after
the
Pragus you can
I think you go to
go
the
wherever.
the asteroid. Anyway, I got there and I just never touched
Oh,
it
you go
again.
to
I don't know
Telos. You go to
why.
Telos.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
go to Telos. Yeah, I just never touched it again. I don't know why. I mean, I'm sure I will at some point, but
I think one of
yeah.
the like right after we started talking to each other, you were doing like a KOTOR stream, and then I just come on voice and we talk about KOTOR.
Mm-hmm.
That was some of our earliest. That was the forerunner to Tap Calf transmissions. Was
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about KOTOR.
Yeah, I mean, KOTOR's cool. I've beaten KOTOR 1 probably, I don't know, 6 times.
I think I beat them the same amount of times. I don't know that I've ever played KOTOR 1 without immediately playing KOTOR 2.
Really? So when you play nowadays, or when you play it again, do you do the no leveling up until, um, what's it called?
Until Dantooine.
Antoine, yeah.
I did that last time I played, but I think that was the first time I'd done that. Because the
It
last
is
time I
fun.
played was also the first time that I really understood what the fucking
I
mechanics of the game were, because
don't
I'd
know if
started
I
playing
do
tabletop.
understand the mechanics, even playing like somewhat familiar with tabletop, where it's like, because I just feel like some of the things make no sense. Like
Mhm.
charisma is like affects your force point. Like it's just weird.
So here's what it is.
Okay.
The mechanic is uh, you run around the table and you throw grenades.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of my animated lore videos are gonna have. I'm gonna have to work on my running animation so I can get that down for all the Jedi Civil War battles.
Mhm.
But
I
yeah,
feel like a lot of people probably played KOTOR 1, and the Malik fight is a big jump in difficulty, I find.
yeah, it's like actually challenging.
Yeah.
The
And yeah, a lot of people don't know how to build characters. And like it's a very complex system for like a mass appeal RPG in my opinion.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like one of the things that I didn't like about the I'm not sure actually how I feel about it in restored content mod is that uh they make the Nihilus and Scion fights more difficult.
I always found
Like
the other one was the hardest.
The
I
Trey
don't
one.
remember. Yeah,
Well, in the base game, they're just like fucking. They attack you and die for
yeah, I was
thematic
gonna say,
reasons, and like
but they're scary.
yeah, and like I understand. I always appreciated the thematic reasons more,
Hmm.
but like thinking about it since the last time I've played, I've been thinking like more of like, wait, maybe it's just because the game's too up its own ass.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I mean, they are such cool villains. I remember like, because I guess you wouldn't have played it till you were old. Because you got into Star Wars around like Revenge of the Sith, right? So you probably didn't play KOTOR 2 when it came out, but I remember Darth Nihilus and Scion like actually scared me quite a bit. Because I would have been 12 when that game came out.
I
Like
played
those
it
are
in
some
grade 7, I think, because I remember
yeah.
being in.
I guess
I remember being
12
at school the
is
day
about
after I played, like going through at school with my friend all the shit I had done in KOTOR the night before, and then when I got to like, oh, you're actually Darth Revan, it's like, oh my god, what a fucking
no, that was when
twist.
you played the first one. Did you play the yeah?
Yeah, and then
First
I'm
one
pretty sure I
is
played KOTOR 2 right after. I think it
it's
was. I
such
think it
a
would have been it.
change because the first one is just such like a classic Star Wars swashbuckly
Mm-hmm.
like space opera, and then KOTOR 2 is just like there's no joy to be had here.
Well, it's kind of. I know you're not a Critical Role guy, but they have a similar thing in campaign 1 and 2, where Role campaign 1, it's like standard adventure, like heroic tropes, even though they're kind of like shitty in the way that heroic characters are in a lot of things if you really think about what they're doing. But then you have
Yeah.
like all the misanthropes in Critical Role campaign 2. They kind of
Mm.
subvert some of what they've done before, and like that it kind of, and then like the shitty people turn out to be like actually better people in the, and
Yeah.
so it's kind of, I feel like that's the direction the crew goes as well, but like it's a
I've
standard
got
sophomore thing.
yeah, I've got nothing like I'm not a critical hater or anything. I just haven't had time.
Yo, you don't have
So
500 hours to watch this, Justin?
yeah, so I maybe like when they start the new series, maybe I'll watch that because I am like finding myself wanting for content to listen to while I work. So
I would almost just say listen to campaign 2,
okay, maybe I
because
will.
I'm super far behind on campaign 3, but campaign 3 is also like uh very tied into campaign 1, so I wouldn't say watch that. Campaign 1 starts with like production issues, and like the audio is not as
Yeah,
good. They're not as sure on what the format is. There's a guy who
were
is,
they famous before that?
no,
Oh yeah, wasn't there a
well,
guy called
they were all voice actors, and that's kind of why
yeah,
that got big when they did it. But
yeah,
like it started just like their home game that then started streaming. So you're also starting the stream in the middle of their home game. Uh,
mm.
and there was an extra cast member at the start who was fucking obnoxious. Like,
Yeah. You told me about him. He was just
yeah,
like
it's
trying to make
awful.
things difficult.
But yeah,
So are they done their third campaign now?
yeah, they just finished. I'm only on like episode 50 though.
Okay.
But anyway, Darth and Dedu and Darth
Pretty
Warlock
cool.
weren't in
They got a
that.
dream job, really.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, what are we fucking doing?
That's true. That's true.
You
Yeah, but
were
they're richer than we are.
you were late for this because you had to record a video that'll make $20 million about some random hockey bullshit. Like, what are you telling me right now?
It is true. I make $20 million a day.
Yeah, it's about
Sometimes
time.
if I make upload 2 videos, I make 40. So
Yeah, it's about time the audience knew that, and then use the opportunity to help me catch up. Uh, please make me as rich as Justin. Start stream goal. There we go. Okay, but we're done with 2 out of our 3 story plots. There, we get to our
I want to
favorite.
talk about this other one, bro.
Well, we have to because it's very important. Cade Skywalker is back. They go, their crew splits up, which is kind of sad because the people I liked in that crew were the Wookiee and
I
Key.
like Delia Blue because she's the sexy one.
Her whole plot in this was, I'm mad at you because you cheated on me, and he's just like, oh baby, it ain't like that, and then they're back together.
Like, damn, it wasn't like that. Okay, fair enough. like, I thought it was like that.
I guess she did need to believe you. Okay, now I'm all over you again, and I'm not going to really contribute to the rest of this other than getting you some pie. And then they
Listen,
have like because they go to see.
hit a beach episode.
Mhm. They go to see Nat Skywalker, who's changed his identity to get away from the Skywalker identity, and the Bourne identity.
Yep.
So he's become Southern with a like he looks like he's from Duck Dynasty, basically.
He's got a shotgun.
Yeah, he's from Duck Dynasty.
He's the guy in Borderlands who'd upgrade like your car.
Yeah, he
Scooter.
talks. He uses these colloquialisms and presumably a different accent. I guess I shouldn't say he has an accent that's like a Southern accent because like, he's not speaking. He's texting. I was like, you grew up on Coruscant. What are you fucking talking about?
Yeah. You don't. Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about Nat.
My culture's not your costume.
I kind of like Nat. He's got he's got 2 kids, and then he's adopted this other kid who's not a Cathar? Triani?
I have no idea.
Micah?
Yeah. I don't pay attention to. I'm not gonna say that joke actually.
Oh no,
He's
that's not
half Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan. Okay, well, he's Cathar. Okay. But yeah, so they're getting attacked by the Black Sun. The Black Sun's apparently doing well these days still.
Are they ever?
But Cade helps him fight it off. And really the thing at issue here is like, is Cade properly planning for stuff? Does Cade want to like leave it all behind and just go into hiding the way Nat has? He does another death stick or not death stick.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by that.
He does some more drugs because Luke and his dad are nagging him, man. He's just trying to get by.
He's got his girlfriend back. He's sleeping with her instantly, just back to
on
doing
the hard
drugs.
stuff. Yep. Cade, get your shit together. But then we also have a very uncomfortable implication about Sin and Anna, the daughter of.
Yeah, how old is he supposed to be?
I thought him and Cade were supposed to be like 30.
They're like 30, yeah.
Like we talked about this before. I feel like maybe they're only 20, but even then, I guess it's not that. If they're 20 now, he would have been 18 in 2 years.
It's the personality of the character so well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, Cade Skywalker or one of his friends is trying to bang a high school student.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they talk about how 2 years ago, the last time they visited Nat, they got chased off by Nat shooting at them because Sin was hitting on his daughter, Anna, who is now over 18, or who is now 18, but at that point would have been 16. And like, if he was 18, that's not as weird. If he's fucking 30, that's incredibly weird. And I don't know if it's illegal on this planet or not, but it should be. And if Jiraiya knows the age of consent laws across the galaxy, that's also bad.
I think that Cade is a lot younger than he looks because, like, in those flashbacks to his training and his dad dying, he looks like he's like 14.
Mm-hmm. And that's only like 8 years before. He's probably meant to be like
that
12.
many, yeah. He's probably like
130 to 131
or
so.
Yeah,
or 120 to 120.
like, yeah.
So yeah, I maybe Cade is supposed to be 20.
Yeah. He just smells like cigarettes. I can just tell.
Yeah, that is the thing that makes me most uncomfortable about.
He smells like leather, cigarettes, body odor, and like probably oil.
Mm-hmm.
Just disgusting. I just hate the guy. Like, I do.
It's no, not a fan. Yeah, I don't know what else to talk about with that subplot.
Yeah, I mean, Cade decides he's going to kill everyone. Well, the Sith and Darth Krayt. So.
He's not wrong. He's gonna kill Krayt because he's seen on the inside that Krayt is sick. He's not getting better, and all the other Sith, if Krayt dies, they'll be at each other's throats, and he's Kid's not wrong. Got to give him credit.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole galaxy has, meme folders ready for the day he dies, just ready to post.
It felt like the art style was different in the Garstasi
Mm.
in the Garstasi episodes, and I did like that better, I think, but that's the other thing I
Yeah, I
wanted to
liked
say.
it too. We got some cool space battle stuff.
Yeah.
The I don't think we've ever seen the Mon Calamari shipyards, other than that. So
Yeah, as a ring, I think the ring's new.
mm.
The scale on those is very funny though, because like there's a Pelion class that's parked on the other side of the planet, but it's bigger than the planet. Oh,
Yeah,
they're
and then they're like, go behind the ring. I was like, dog, there's no room back there, but there is a lot of room back there. There's a lot of room back there.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else for legacy issues 20 through 27, not including 25 and 26?
No, I mean, I guess we'll be back at Legacy next week.
Mm-hmm.
Or I forget how like slow comic releases are because I've been reading the. I normally don't read new Star Wars comics, but I've been reading Charles Soule's new Vader one.
Okay. How's that been?
It's Legacy of Vader. It's about Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
It's it's okay.
The one where there was
Watto
the whole
stuff.
did he kill Watto and apparently not.
Yeah.
He does one
Yep.
cool thing and they take it away.
Yeah. Anyway, the well, it was Vader killing Watto.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
That's what. Yeah. Um, which you should kill Watto, right? Like
Absolutely.
that's like chaotic neutral, right?
Yeah, like
Maybe
if you
even
were a
chaotic good.
slave and you kill the person who owned you, that's
That may even be neutral good. I don't
no,
know.
that is I get well, it's like lawful versus chaotic are like what is permitted by society. I guess if slavery is legal, then that's the law. Which I guess it's got to be chaotic good.
Chaotic good, yeah.
But it's if it was a different table, it'd be like based good. But
Based,
we had a
based
fourth
versus not
column.
based. So what's not based good? Like doing your taxes?
That's lawful good is doing your tax
That's
or lawful
no,
good is
but
doing
I'm
your
on the
taxes
based.
good.
I'm on the based and not based. So
Uh,
what's the other axis? Is it good still? So is it based good and
well, it's good
not
to
based?
bad still, and then like lawful, neutral, chaotic based.
Okay.
Because chaotic is just like you hop out from behind a wall and scare Hitler to death, which like the end result of that is good, but the method you use to do it is kind of fucking weird. It's like you're
Yeah.
chaotic, but I don't know. Maybe I'm being
Maybe
illogical in my own application here. We'll have to work this out.
maybe it needs to be another axis. Like maybe we need a
Hmm.
3D or even a fourth dimensional tesseract with yeah.
Okay, so it's like this would still fall in the chaotic section, but it's in the base direction, not in the
Yeah.
chaotic where like you've pulled your pants down and
I
flashed
think if
someone
we
to
want to
death.
even have like a fourth dimension, like fully into Interstellar, I think we have funny. So like this would be based, chaotic, good, very funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 The other
Yeah.
thing I was thinking about during this, that this is for some reason reminding me of, is I don't know that anything in Star Wars makes me aware of Sith names as much as Legacy does. It's like
Yeah.
how fucking weird would it be if you're working for one of these people and you've got to call a fucking 50-year-old man Darth Strife? That's his fucking name. It was Darth Strife.
Some fucking Elon Musk bullshit. Yeah, you would call it.
Encyclopedia X.
Okay, Darth, I've become meme. Fuck off.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to do with this. For the
Actually, he could just be
next,
Darth Musk because he also looks like he stinks.
it's nominative determinism.
Yeah, exactly. Whole
Uh,
life he was made fun of for being stinky when he wasn't, and then
he
he just
became
became
stinky.
stinkier and stinkier. He just stopped showering.
So we have the Hidden Temple, 1 and 2, in Vector, I think.
Okay.
25, 26, 28, 29, 30, 31. Those are the issues we're talking about next time, and then the time after that is going to be Dark Nest. Does that bug you?
Whatever, man. Fuck
It's
off.
3 books. It's 3 books, man. You can skip half the chapters. Here, I'm going to summarize the books for you right now, and you can just decide. Like, this will spark your
I've
memory.
read them. You don't need to summarize them. I've read them.
I know, but I'm just
Go ahead.
reminding you of how easy this will be.
Okay.
Jason's dark and edgy. Jason wipes a memory. Bug sex. Jason goes to see Akana. Bug sex. Bug sex. Jagfell's a dick.
Okay. Maybe. I mean, there is some cool ship stuff too.
Yeah. You get the Admiral Akbar. You get the whole funny thing where there's like a statue that Trace or
Yeah,
not.
the bug statue.
Was that? It's Buatu? I think it's Buatu.
Watu. Yeah.
You get the Thrawn simulator. But
Yeah.
yeah. So the other thing we had to talk about is last week for Mr. Eckhartsladder's birthday,
Oh yes.
we did a Jeopardy trivia night on the X2 podcast.
It was a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, I loved it.
That
And
one
I got
was.
very drunk. I was hungover for 2 days. I can't do that at my age.
Me, I was awake at 8:00 in the morning.
I don't drink very much very often anymore, so like I was done.
It was nice to see. It was nice to see. The second he starts talking about planning a Halifax trip, I was like, "Oh yeah, he is drunk."
I want to go.
I know.
Or I want you all to come
you
here, but
or go there.
But yeah, so how do you feel the Star Wars? Thanks to Arash for setting that all
I
up.
won the Star Wars one, didn't I?
You did.
I thought I think a lot of it was just due to I was on the computer, so I was fast on the buzzer. There's a lot of
Yeah.
guessing. There was one moment where where I think both of us had the exact same thing where we knew the answer was Galen or
Yeah.
no, yeah.
It was Galen Urso, and we both wanted to say Galen Merrick.
Galen Merrick, yeah. Yeah, we both
Yeah.
at the exact same time, yeah.
Like the problem I was having was that if it was something that we both knew, your buzzing was just faster. I don't know if it's because I'm old and slow, or if it's latency, or if it's because you were on your computer. So you'd buzz in and get the easy ones. Then I'd be able to buzz in on ones that were like, who knows? And I was just like
50-50.
reflexively buzzing to, because
What I was just doing is I
be...
was just scanning the end of the question, and if
Yeah.
I recognized a word, I was just, and that hurt me more in actual Jeopardy. I think I did really poorly in the other 3 ones. One I did okay in, but
Mhm.
you and Zach are really, you guys would be a good trivia team, I think.
Yeah,
Zach,
I think if we went for like an X2 trivia night, we'd like if we just hit up a bar and participate.
Could we win, do you think?
Well.
I feel like we maybe have some blind spots.
I feel like for my trivia team, you and Zach would fill a lot of spaces that we have with like pop culture stuff.
Mm-hmm. Zach especially. Zach is like an encyclopedia.
Yeah, like a lot of the stuff that we miss when I do Tuesday night trivia is like history and political stuff we get all the time. Music stuff we're pretty good with. Like that's mostly me and one of the other teammates that knows that stuff. If it's like music from the 60s or 7 or like 50s to 60s, Dana can get that. If it's like older pop culture, Dana will also get that. But if it's like questions about the Oscars or who starred in this thing, none of us really know that like very well. Yeah. Well. And I feel like literature is another thing that we're weak on. But I think if the X2 trivia team was like me, you, Zach, and Arash, I think we'd have a shot.
Yeah, Kelsey is also fantastic at like pop culture stuff, but I think she might her and Zach might cover too much territory. The same territory.
Like there's enough niche stuff in there. But fuck, they've started. So people were requesting more Canadian content in the trivia nights, and all that has meant is that there has been like 3 questions about Wayne Gretzky every fucking night, and that's
which sucks because there are a lot of fun like Canadian like political stories, like Shawinigan handshake style
That's
But like,
from
I just
Jean
feel like
Chrétien, Vampire Hunter.
most people just don't know any of it. So
Like
like,
there's been questions about like politicians and stuff that I've gotten off of similar stuff, and it's like, oh, which prime minister served the shortest? Which, and
mm,
so that's been, yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's you took the crown in Star Wars Jeopardy.
And then
I do
lost
think that,
very badly. It's like a dog.
yeah, I just think that Darksaber, for an armor-piercing traditional Mandalorian weapon, was more
But is it
applicable
a
than
traditional
Vibro
weapon,
Sword.
or is it a one of a kind weapon?
It's a tradition. It's part of Mandalorian tradition.
Yeah, I
I don't
guess.
think vibro blades are explicitly Mandalorian
I
culture.
agree that that was. I was thinking it'd be like the staff he had in the show.
Well, well, round two. We
Yeah,
are going to be going over to an X2 stream right now, so I don't know what we're doing tonight, but does anyone know what we're doing tonight?
I don't think so.
All right, well, that'll be a surprise for all of us. So that'll be on youtube.com/ECKSTOO. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Next week, we will be back with more Legacy. And then 2 weeks from now, we're supposed to have Elkin for these. We'll be talking about the Swarm War, or about
Okay.
Dark Nest Crisis. Book 1, On with Bug.
Bug. Okay, I gotta record a hockey video. I'll see you in a few minutes.
See, this is how the fucking podcast ends, guys. You think me and him just sit here and shoot the shit for a while? No. He just fucking says, oh, I'm gonna go to, or I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna go get it, and then, yeah. So you know what? I'm just gonna sit here. I'm gonna sit here with the stream still going. What do you guys want to talk about?